It is a red letter day in a red letter weekend in a red letter conclusion to the season. This will be fun, and we've got that story. All the red letters converging today on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Some of the best rock music ever made, in my opinion, was made right there in Seattle, Washington. Yeah, grunge rock, and now Seattle will be rocking again with Kumar Rocker on the mound tonight.
Woo-hoo.
What a big night it is for the Texas Rangers. What a big night it is for Rangers fans. Welcome to the DLLS Sports Studios. It's John Radigan. It's Abby Jones. And joining us from that rockin' city of Seattle is Jeff Wilson, who, by the way, folks, got in just under the wire. Literally, our producer Elijah said, "Stand by." Oh, here's Jeff. Well done, Jeff.
Yeah, I would have been here sooner, except the guy in front of me at the check-in line was 100% confused by a QR code. Could not figure it out. And as patient as the clerk was, he finally just said, "You got to move on because we got people in line." So anyway, I was here in plenty of time, but things out of my control.
Of course,
delayed my arrival till the bell was ringing.
You made it.
Got in under the bell. We appreciate you.
You know what? The chat is rocking.
I was just
right
going to
now.
say we want our chatters to keep on chatting because it is big. As Abs says, they are rocking. And Abs, there is a roster move to lead off with.
There is. You got to figure out how we got here. So it's really no surprise for me, at least. Chase Anderson has been designated for assignment. Appreciate his time and service. But at this time, Kumar Rocker, ready to make your MLB debut. I'm excited, fellas.
Yeah, and Jeff, you needed a spot, obviously, on the roster and on the 40-man, which is why you DFA somebody, and Chase Anderson was the candidate. Heck, we talked about the possibility of him pitching once for the Rangers and then needing a spot, so you get rid of him.
Yeah, and he probably knew it. He's a veteran. He's a native Texan from Wichita Falls, so from that regard, you don't like to see it. But you kind of got the feeling that yesterday when he pitched so many innings in relief that that might have been his last day. The Rangers could have put Tyler Mahle on the 60-day injured list. I think they'll probably do that tomorrow to get Jacob deGrom. But these 40-man spots, you got to clear them, and Kumar Rocker needed one. So thanks for your service, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, that's it. You did a good job. You did exactly what the team needed you to do for those couple of weeks that you were here. Let us take a look at the timeline of Kumar Rocker's progression to the big league level, because there is a lot to this. It has been a bumpy road for Rocker to get here. It's typically a bumpy road for anyone to get to the big leagues, but for Kumar,
Tommy John in there.
Yeah, you throw Tommy John surgeries and whatnot in there, and it's very difficult. So in his senior year of high school, 2018, he is getting overtures. I say first round offers there. He refused the overtures of being drafted in the first round and basically said, "No, I'm going to go to Vanderbilt. I think we'll have something special there." He did. He went to the College World Series his first year. The Commodores win the World Series. He had that no-hitter during the route to the College World
NCAA
Series in the Super Regional. It was an elimination game against Duke, and he strikes out 19 in a no-hitter. 2020, of course, was COVID. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he threw 131 pitches. in those 19 strikeouts as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So and that does tell you a little bit, and we'll dive into some of these stats even more deeply as we go. In 2020, in 2020 was a COVID year, of course, and he leads the nations in wins and strikeouts that year. 2021, Vanderbilt finishes second in the College World Series again. Of course, he had a teammate named Jack Leiter that year. In 22, he's selected third by Texas. Oh, by the way, at the end of 21, he was selected 10th by the New York Mets. They determined that he was unhealthy, had a shoulder and elbow issue, so they withdrew their offer. He gets drafted third by the Rangers in 2022, Tommy John in 2023, and now his MLB debut.
Long list.
Let's go through some of these things, Jeff, and maybe we'll start in 19 when he actually had that no-hitter in an elimination game of the Super Regionals of a team like Duke, and that shows the mental tenacity, doesn't it, and the mental strength that this young man certainly has.
Yeah, the in addition to all the stuff and the ability to want to compete, being a bulldog on the mound, intimidator on the mound, that's something else the Rangers want. Mound presence, if you will. I mean, he's in charge out there.
Yeah,
and he's imposing because of his size. But Chris Young was 6'10", which is imposing enough. But Chris Young threw 91, 92. This is 6'5", 250, and 98, 100. So it's imposing. He just wants to destroy every batter. That's just it. He wants to win every fight. It's not going to happen. There's going to be good ones. There's going to be bad ones. Tonight, he'll have some things to address with adrenaline and taking in the moment. Seems like he'll be able to process it because of that game there, the 19 strikeout no hitter is, at the time that's the biggest stage he'd been on, and he excelled in it. So I think that you look at that graphic we just had up, and the 2021 draft is a big one. It was huge. It really sent him on a path to the Rangers. And when the Rangers selected him third overall, it was stunning. It really turned the draft on its heels. Nobody expected that, but the Rangers had seen him so much in scouting Jack Leiter, and had talked to Tim Corbin, the Vanderbilt coach, so much about the two of them that this was a guy that they just wanted to have, and to get him for well under slot with the ability to then sign fourth rounder Brock Porter way over slot. It was a real good draft, considering the Rangers had just signed Simeon and Seager and didn't have their second and third round picks. So, if you want to look at this window opening for the Rangers, and down the road here, that could be a monumental circumstance for them.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, as someone who grew up, and again, his dad was he's a college football player, college football Hall of
War
Fame
Eagle.
now.
Let's put some respect on the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, wait, are you saying they're pro? No,
no, it's like the only good thing that we have to say.
All these colleges are almost pro now, but that's a topic for a different day. But he grew up with in an athletic family with a guy who ultimately became a professional coach, right? And he's currently the defensive line coach with the Tennessee Titans, Tracy Rocker. But this too, right? Like, some people look at 2018 and he didn't jump at first round money.
Yeah.
But when you grew up in a certain situation like that, like, money's not everything. He had some goals.
Money's not everything, and you really only take a high school offer if you're going to go first round, first pick overall. I think the consensus with baseball, my dad got offers out of high school. Weirdly enough, I think because we're with the Mets, turned it down. But I think that it's very pivotal to get those years in a college program. Vanderbilt is such a fantastic baseball school. They're definitely not a football school, not a basketball school. Baseball is their thing. And it worked out well for him. In his freshman year, he won Baseball America's 2019 Freshman of the Year. He also won College World Series Most Outstanding Player. You saw him jump in the draft order each time that he kind of held out. So, it's really important to get those reps. We were talking about how he only had 10 starts in the minors this year. Seems like those minor league days are just getting fewer and far between with baseball this year. I mean, my dad spent some time in the minors, and it was almost back in the day like you knew you were going to spend 5 years minimum, like that was kind of the recipe then. So, yeah, I think it's essential to the growth there. But money's not everything. You want to put yourself in a position where you can work on your stuff, you know, a little bit behind the scenes per se. I think any athlete would take that
And
opportunity.
certainly, all's well that ends well, as Jack Leiter watched him in 2019 before joining him as a teammate the next year. And Jeff, and you spoke about that whole draft process in 2021 and then in 2022, and the sheer shock that we all felt when the Rangers, I mean, not just those of us that cover the team, I mean, across baseball, people were shocked that the Rangers took Rocker with the 3rd overall pick. And then they were able to work a deal where they didn't give him the bonus that slot normally would get.
Yeah, I think that kind of talks to the situation he was in physically. There was some risk the Rangers were taking on there, but also he probably just wanted to go play baseball. It was going to be his last good opportunity in a draft, really, to have leverage and to get selected, and for him to endure that. He had a little procedure after the 2021 draft. He had to pitch an independent ball as a showcase to teams to let them know that he was ready. And I actually pat myself on the shoulder, thought the Rangers might take him, and I think I might have predicted that. But it was a stunning. It was still stunning to hear it nonetheless. But yeah, it just, and he's talked about it. 2021 was hurtful. I mean, it really showed him that baseball's a business. He came from elite college program where he was the guy, and then to get kind of I don't know if you feel. I guess he would feel screwed over. I'm putting words in his mouth by the Mets, but not signing, not getting the bonus, not getting into professional baseball, which is his goal, hurt him. I mean, that's a dagger right there. But he's fought his way back. Had to endure Tommy John surgery, another delay, but here he is now in Seattle. I think I'm probably about half a mile from him in the team hotel right now, and should be a cool situation for him tonight.
Yeah, and two, it seems like these injuries are, it's not a if it's going to happen, it's kind of a when it's going to happen for pitchers. So, for him to kind of deal with 2 surgeries already in his minor league career, I guess you'd rather have it happen in the minor leagues than when you're at, the peak of your career in Major League Baseball.
No doubt. And we weren't completely clear about that. But after that Mets experience, he went and had surgery on his own on the shoulder before he was ultimately drafted by the Rangers. He also spent a little time in an independent league with the Tri-Valley Cats to kind of prove, Jeff, that he was back and that he was ready. And he did do that there. It was enough for the Rangers to know, based on his past and his, whatever he had done with that independent league team, that he was worthy of that high draft pick.
Well, and the numbers against former professional players or guys hanging on or whatever, but talented guys, let's say, were similar to what he did in the minors here this year. It was dominant. It was dominating stuff, and the Rangers saw what they had seen in the years of scouting him as a college player. So it was a necessary step. Scott Boras as his agent, and they really the surgery he had after the 21 draft was minor. It's never been detailed. It kind of came out in some like a pre-draft questionnaire or something that he had to file, but it was like a scope. I mean, that's basically what it's been described as. If that was the area of concern for the Mets, I think that they felt like nothing was there, and that the Mets should have signed him anyway. But then the elbow is a separate issue, and so look, he's here now. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I think that it has fueled him to get to where he is, and is going to fuel him the rest of his career.
Yeah. And, we're going to definitely see him tonight make his debut. Excited about that. But just to put his minors in perspective a little bit, I know we've talked about it, but 10 starts, 10 games in the minors this year with AA, AAA levels. He posted a 1.9 ERA with 55 strikeouts, just 5 walks across 36 innings pitched. He hasn't thrown more than 72 pitches this year, so you'll probably see that today, maybe a little bit under. But he's going to wear number 80. I think this is the first time that a Rangers player is wearing number 80. So, yeah, I'm excited. And he is going to make MLB history today as the first pitcher of Indian descent. So.
Yeah. His maternal grandparents are from India. They emigrated from India, and his mom, of course, was born here, but obviously of Indian descent. So that is pretty cool to be the first in history, and he will carry the torch for India with regard to being in Major League Baseball. There will be another debut this weekend. It'll be a season debut, but we're going to talk about that. And in fact, it's deGrom and it's Scherzer, and we want you to let us know, who do you think will have a better weekend? Who will pitch better on Friday and or Saturday? Will it be Jacob deGrom or Max Scherzer? Let us know what you think. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but first, I want to tell you about Game Time, because look,
Game Time?
The reality is that Kumar Rocker is now with the Rangers. They're having one more homestand, and the chances are, it's not a guarantee, but the chances are he will pitch in one of those games. And you're going to be like,
agree.
Oh, wow, Rocker's pitching tonight. I got to get tickets. There's where you go. Game Time. That's all you got to do. Go to Game Time, because they have the best tickets you can possibly get. And they're vetted, right? You're not going to get, not that they cancel baseball games there anymore because there's a roof, but you're not going to have any problems. You won't have to worry about anything because Game Time takes care of you. Have you not been to Globe Life Field yet, but you want to go see Kumar Rocker? That's easy. You just get on that site, the Game Time app, and you look, and they show you the seat, and they show you what the view is from that seat. It's like a panoramic view from the seat. So many ways for you to enjoy this app. And by the way, we're going to help you enjoy it even more, because if you go on the app, your first purchase is $20 off if you use that promo code DLLS. That's us. DLLS Rangers, right? Use DLLS, get $20 off your first purchase on Game Time. And if your first purchase on Game Time is a Kumar Rocker game, I guess you don't save ticket stubs anymore, but save a picture of that thing on your phone.
I wish that you did have ticket stubs.
I know.
My mom gave my dad a really cool gift when he retired, and it was like all of the ticket stubs she collected over the years. And some were a World Series ticket, and, he was on the cover. So I do miss paper.
I do too.
Paper stubs, but I also don't miss not finding a ticket because you run out of options and then paying a lot of money for them. So we're going to talk about Kumar Rocker. We're going to get into it. And, he's pitching today. If you wanted to put a little money on this game, if you think that you know ball, put your knowledge to the test. I was looking at it today. They're projecting that Kumar has 4 strikeouts today. Are you going to take the over or the under on that?
I would. Given the stuff he's shown in that wicked wipeout slider, I'm going to take the over.
Disgusting.
I'm going to take the over.
I can't wait for Pitching Ninja's clips from today's game.
Again, the Mariners have the worst team batting average in all of baseball.
Stat, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I found that this morning. I felt very proud of it. But
yeah.
They do actually have the worst batting average in baseball. Not only the AL or AL West, but we'll get into that too. But, 4 strikeouts. I think I'm going to take Kumar over on that. But you could put your knowledge to the test with Sleeper today. The more you combine, the more that you win. You can win up to 100 times your money. If you think you have what it takes, download Sleeper app and use the code DLLS Rangers to get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions may apply. See Sleeper's terms for use of the app. Currently operational in over 25 states. So check out Sleeper today. I'm going to take over on Kumar.
Yeah, absolutely. I would too. And you can bet on all kinds of things like that on Sleeper, so make sure you do it. What a weekend it will be in Seattle for the Rangers and for Rangers fans. Jeff Wilson is there for this exciting weekend, and he'll be providing reports for us not only here on the DLLS Rangers podcast, but look for him on our social media platforms and everywhere else. And yeah, the Coop says you might also want to see Jacob deGrom. I think so.
I had like a funny other headline for today's show.
Tell me.
Like, this has got to be the Mets' worst nightmare ever. Rocker, deGrom, Scherzer.
We may have to figure out a way to put that into tomorrow's headline.
This
we got a
hilarious.
show every day. We'll figure. That is a great point.
Yeah.
The Mets are hating life right now, Jeff. But
hey, one man's trash. That can be tomorrow's
another man's
show.
treasure.
One man's
That's
trash.
right. Okay, so Jeff, Jacob deGrom tomorrow, Max Scherzer on Saturday. Let's start with Jacob, because obviously, we haven't seen him on a big league mound in 14, 15 months.
Yeah, April 28th, 2023. I'm staying for that one too. So we'll have them both covered here at DLLS. We've talked about how great deGrom is. He's under contract for 3 more years at around 120 million. So there's a lot of investment here for the Rangers. But he was the last piece. He was supposed to be the guy who, with Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, would get the Rangers to the promised land. And as we talked about yesterday, for 6 starts, the Rangers won all of them. So he did. He didn't pitch in the postseason, obviously. But if you still have that core of Seager, Semien, deGrom, and they're superstars and perform like superstars, your team's going to be in fantastic shape. So that's. And these 3 starts, let's say he gets 3 starts the rest of the year. These are the first 3 steps, the stepping stones to 2025. He gives him a chance to figure out what he needs to do in the offseason, lets him get the adrenaline out of his system right off the bat, so that when he debut, let's say he starts opening day, all right, that seems reasonable. He doesn't have the uncertainty or any of the jitters or anything like that. And I think that these are as big or even more. You could argue they're more important to the Rangers than Kumar Rocker's 3 starts. I just really think that he's the guy who the Rangers invested in heavily, the guy who was expected to carry them. I don't think Kumar Rocker is expected to carry the Rangers rotation next year. I think Jacob deGrom is. And so I think that getting him out there, getting him reacclimated to Major League Baseball, and allowing him to clear his mind of the rehab process and all that stuff are vitally important.
Yeah, I saw some quotes from Kumar about how he is so excited for the opportunity, and we've talked about this, but he actually addressed it, the opportunity to be out there and be with the likes of Max Scherzer and the likes of Jacob deGrom. Now, Kumar was 13 years old when Max Scherzer won his first of 3 Cy Young Awards, and he was a freshman at Vanderbilt the year that Jacob deGrom won his first one. So he realizes and has talked about it, Jeff, the value of now getting an opportunity to learn firsthand from those guys.
Yeah, I was. That's funny. I was at dinner with Mike Maddox the first time Max Scherzer won the Cy Young, and he called. No, the second time because they're at the Nationals, and he called Mike Maddox during dinner, so Mike had to step away. But
that's cool.
We talked about it yesterday too, about how just smart and dialed into details Max Scherzer doesn't miss a thing, knows how to pitch to everybody, will have a scouting report on everybody. So, he can help Kumar Rocker pregame. The Rangers will have their big pitching meeting before the game, and there will be instant feedback for Kumar right there. How to get out Julio Rodriguez or J.P. Crawford. It's going to be instantaneous how much these guys are going to be able to help Kumar. And what a situation for any young guy to walk into. You're walking into 2 guys with 5 Cy Youngs. You think they know their way around a lineup. They can pitch a little bit. And we throw in Nathan Eovaldi, of course, who really is the guy on the team who's not outspoken, but he's the one that a lot of the pitchers go to. If he doesn't go to them first, he's that kind of guy. So with those 3 veterans, Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker, Cody Bradford, they couldn't be in a better situation for peers who they could bounce things off of, and then get the right feedback, get the elite feedback in the game.
Yeah. And I know we're talking about DeGrom, but also just with Rocker's start, I kind of want to give like a pitch arsenal breakdown because, we haven't really talked much about what he can do at the professional level. We'll definitely see it today, but just, to talk about his game a little bit. With the four-seam fastball, he's going to use it about 35%. It's 98 miles per hour. Like Jeff was saying, I mean, that's a dominant presence on the mound. He's disgusting slider that he's worked on a lot. 41% usage there, 84 miles an hour. Sinker a little bit, 15% of the time. 97 though, it's still great stuff. And a changeup, 7% of the time, 91. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he even. I'm sure he talked to DeGrom about his slider in rehab, and yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a great
there's no doubt.
matchup.
And he throws a two-seamer a little bit too. He throws Rocker throws a four-seamer and a two-seamer a little bit, but it's a great point. And the tie back to DeGrom as far as his slider. Look, he wanted it to be, Jeff, almost perfect in his rehab starts, right? He's like, yeah, I'm going to take that fourth rehab start to keep working on that slider. What do we expect from him tonight? You've talked to him just before he left. What are you thinking? Is he a 3-inning guy? Is he a 4-inning? Is he a 5-inning guy? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not unusual for somebody who is coming back from Tommy John surgery or a major injury to get to, say, 4 or 5 innings in the minor leagues, and then they dial him back an inning. So it could be 3 innings for Jacob deGrom, honestly. 4 I would think would be the max, just based on where he was in those rehab starts. He never went more than 4. He had to go into the bullpen to get his pitch count up because he was so dominant. So the most he's thrown is 60 pitches in one setting. So I think 3-4 innings probably the max here. Tomorrow night it's going to be chilly. It's going to be wet. That's in typical Seattle weather. It's going to be damp and chilly. So maybe that factors into it. Obviously they'll have the roof, but still not the warmest ballpark in baseball. In fact, I think it's the coldest ballpark in baseball. I always bring like 4 or 5 layers to a game because the press box is open air too. But I think it's going to be really good though. But he has said it. He said it after one of his live batting practices. He gets jumpy because he gets so excited in the first inning. And when he gets jumpy, air quotes jumpy, his term, his fastball is higher in the strike zone and is hittable. And he said, just look at the 2023 season opener. So he's got a lot of emotions to harness here, a lot of adrenaline. So does Rocker, obviously, but that's just one of the things he has to overcome. But it's going to be good. At some point it's going to be great. He may get hit a little bit, okay, but he's also going to have the times where he makes hitters look like idiots with his slider. Makes them look like they're standing still with his fastball when it hits triple digits, because it's going to. So it'll be fun to watch. It just will be, because he's that good.
Yeah, he really is. And to your point about that ballpark in Seattle, I got the worst cold of my life covering a game there, sitting in one of the booths, and the roof was closed because it was a heavy mist that April night, but they don't have walls. So the mist is coming sideways at me. I mean, it was miserable the whole night long. And yeah, you know that. You've been there many times. You can get some pretty nice weather in June and July, maybe even August, but get into September, it gets chilly again. So wise choice on the multiple layers tonight. We didn't get to Scherzer yet. We intend to do that. We want to hear who you are most excited about seeing this weekend. Is it Rocker? Is it deGrom? Is it Scherzer? Let us know in the chat. We appreciate you chatting along, as you always do. And Jeff will probably not, but could, need his sunglasses up there in Seattle. But Abs, if he does, we know what kind he needs.
We know a guy.
Yeah, we know a guy.
We know a guy. I'm excited to get our pairs because we did pick out 2. Maybe we get them both. Maybe we just get the first one. Either way, they are quality shades that are built to last. That is our friends at Shady Ray. They are premium polarized shades. Jeff was mentioning they also do some sort of like prescription option.
Yep.
Prescription option. If you hear any noise, we're getting our TVs mounted also, and we will have watch parties so you guys can watch big games along with us. So TVs mounted now, and then we're going to have some fun with you guys when it comes to game time. But in the meantime, Shady Rays, they have hundreds of options. You can get your favorite team colors. We're really trying to convince John Radigan to get the powder blue.
Like
Sunday
the Rangers
glasses.
on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I might.
They also, you could get multicolor.
Yeah.
You could do like red and blue. But they're affordable. They're rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. You see a pair down there. I got some pretty like athletic looking ones.
Yeah, they got some great styles.
Yeah. So hundreds of options, durable. They're great for outdoor activities. They are affordable. That's probably the best part. And they have a great protection plan. I lose my glasses a lot, or I break them, or this, that, and the other. But they do have a great protection plan. So you can use the code DLLS. You can get 35% off on a polarized pair of sunglasses. Great choices. And if you don't love your pick, you have 30 days to return. So make the switch.
Hey, nothing makes me more mad than when I lose sunglasses. Luckily, they were free, but one time I got a free pair, really nice pair. I don't remember what brand, from a golf tournament. And we went to the beach, like for vacation right after that. My first time in the beach, I'm wearing the shades, looking so cool. Wave hits, bam, glasses gone.
Glasses gone.
Undertow took the glasses. I couldn't have been more
I know. My
upset.
parents are in Italy right now, and my parents, like, they love sunglasses.
Yeah.
Tons, but I was like, do not bring your nice sunglasses.
No.
Yeah. So they actually took some Shady Rays.
Good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. We appreciate them, and we appreciate Shady Rays. And speaking of outdoor activities, you need Rugged Road. Have you heard about these yet? These are the greatest coolers out there. They're fantastic. The greatest thing about them is just how lightweight they are. There's nothing worse than the extremely heavy cooler that you just absolutely have to have dad strength. And really, when the son gets old enough, you just give it to the son, or you both have to carry it for a while. I mean, they got and are getting so heavy that you have to put wheels on them because there's no way to carry them. Not the case with Rugged Road. This is a light cooler that is fantastically insulated. It will keep everything you want cold. It's great because it also floats. So you can take it fishing, and whoops, if it falls in, no big deal. Or you can float the river with it. I know we're almost past that season, but it will get hot again. You might want to go float the river. These Rugged Road coolers are fantastic. They're made with the highest grade material, and they are so good and so innovative and so new, and they've got unique packaging inside. There are, shelves and layers and water bottles inside. So make sure you avail yourself to a Rugged Road cooler. You use that promo code DLLS and you get 10% off your first Rugged Road cooler. We want you to enjoy the greatness of Rugged Road.
And the outdoors.
Mm-hmm. It's the greatest time of the year in Texas, right? I mean, we've already had a nice dose of cool weather, and it's probably
some allergies,
again. We're gonna get boy, they've been tough, but we're gonna get some hot weather again. But for the most part, the next 2 or 3 months are going to be like this, like it is out there today. So yeah, it's great. It's just awesome.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Let's get to Scherzer, Jeff. Wondering what people want to see most. In some ways, Max Scherzer is as motivated as any of these guys because of uncertainty for next season and a deep willingness and desire to pitch next season.
100%. That's exactly right. He is not planning to retire. He wants to go. So this is going to be say he makes 3 starts, a 3-start showcase for him to show all 30 teams that he can help a team next year. He thinks he can. He is convinced with the stuff he sees coming out of his hand, even if it's not as fast as it once was, that he's going to help somebody. You got to be convinced, though. He's got to show that he's over this nerve issue, which he's had to deal with for the first time. The back, which is what he had surgery for in December, really has not been an issue all year. It's just this nerve situation that he's had to have a couple injections for. But he thinks he found the magic touch, a different arm slot, and that last AAA start was fantastic. You can't argue with that one. So, uh, and he's a three-time Cy Young winner. He knows who he is. He's top 10, I think, in all time in strikeouts, and had a 20 strikeout game or 21 strikeout game in there. He's a stud. He's a three-time Cy Young winner. He was durable. He was give me the ball and let's go. He won one World Series with the Nationals, won one last year with the Rangers, though he was injured for a lot of that time. This is a big opportunity for him and his future, because we know what Max Scherzer has made the last 3 seasons. He's not going to make anything near that, but he still isn't going to expect to be paid like a pitcher who can go out and help somebody. He just has to show that he can do that.
Yeah, and that's the opportunity here. And one thing, and you know this from your dad, Ebbs, although in his case, he wasn't the starting pitcher. Obviously, he was the closer. But these guys compete against each other some, too. And so if Rocker goes out and pitches well, and then deGrom goes out and pitches well, that's even more motivation in a way for Max Scherzer.
No doubt. The young guy, I mean, Max Scherzer really doesn't have much else left to prove, I think, in my opinion. He might disagree and he might have his own list. I haven't talked to him about it. But, yeah, I mean, when the young guys come on, you don't want to be old dog, old tricks, So I think one thing that Scherzer might actually use is, I don't know if confidence or just like continuing his drive, is his race with Verlander. We talked about this. I mean, Verlander stated that he wants to play until he's 45. Scherzer shared similar comments, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the 1998. I know that I was one, but I did watch the 30 for 30 on it with McGuire and Sammy Sosa, the home run race. Like, with Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer now healthy, these guys are going back and forth between strikeout leaders, So I think Scherzer, yes, the young guys as well, but it's also just the history of the game. And he probably ideally would like to, have a leg up on Verlander if he can. So I think it's a mix of things. It's past, it's present, and it's future of baseball.
It's competition. That's the main thing. And, of course, Jeff, Verlander and Scherzer were teammates twice. And so there's a lot of familiarity there. And there is, I would think, some of that internal competition that burns between them.
You would think so. When Max came over, there was some stuff that had been written that he and Verlander maybe didn't get along. They were kind of at odds the short time they were together with the Mets, and he dismissed that. Nothing but respect for the guy, former teammate with the Tigers. Probably Justin Verlander helped Max Scherzer out a little bit. I guess they might have come up at the same time, roughly the same time frame. So, but yeah, you want to be remembered as the best of your era, I would think. This is a different era from Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez and Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux, who I think was the best of that group. So now it's Scherzer and Verlander kind of winding down that next chapter of guys, and so it's got to be motivating. It just has to be. They may not want to admit it, but these guys are great because they have egos and they hold themselves up to such a high standard that they need to meet it. And I'm sure that they would love to beat each other's brains in if they were to square off, or look after they're retired and go to the Baseball Reference all-time leaders and see one above the other. I think that they both had great careers, obviously, but I'm sure that's part of it. And I would go for as far as to say that Rocker and Leiter are going to have the same effect. I mean, they did it in college. Jack ended up getting drafted higher than Kumar, not just in 2010, but Leiter was the second overall pick of the 2021 draft. Rocker third in 2022. So, hey, whatever it takes to make you your best, to give you an edge, and if it's beating your teammate, friendly competition, then go do it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I love that you brought that up. We've had questions on the chat today about that. Does Leiter's presence help Rocker and vice versa? And I say absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
I want to see your buddy.
Yeah. If for no other reason than, to those guys, everybody else in there is so long in the tooth. You got 40-year-old men, like Max Scherzer out there. This is a guy who's exactly your age, and especially with that college experience that they had, has exactly your life experience. So I believe they will help each other just with that sort of presence and joy that they shared over the years, and the joy that they share at their accomplishments in the past. So that's great. And I love Misty. Yeah, she checked it and looked at it today. Each Scherzer and Verlander are both at 3,405.
You know what else I
strikeouts.
just realized too? So we've got that with the Astros and the Rangers, but we've got Boch and Dusty Baker on the managerial wins. And I know Dusty's, retired now, but I mean, it is kind of fun. I think Boch is like 20 away from Dusty. So it's kind of fun. You've got two little things to watch, but yeah, I mean, going back to your point with Rocker and Leiter, I think every human craves familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know that you can go to a teammate in your same scenario, in your same situation, and I think Jack can help him with the transition to Major League Baseball. Jack's been there a little bit, but he's also been there his whole life and in a clubhouse. Hey, this is the lay of the land here, the unspoken rules, and I think Kumar definitely has a great understanding, but there's really nothing like going up to your buddy and kind of getting like the down low, So, yeah, I think it definitely helps him.
Yeah, and Jeff, Bruce Bochy calls that a runway. This is a runway, which ideally, what do you do on a runway? You take off, right? So this is a runway for these two young pitchers to take off in their career, and it's nice for each of them. But in this case, Rocker, who we just didn't think would be here this year, right, to have this runway and this opportunity at this time of the year.
Yeah, I think it is surprising. I would imagine to the Rangers that he's in the major leagues this year. But what he's done so far is just proven to them that he's going to be ready for a much bigger role next year. And yeah, he's going to be. They just cleared him for takeoff. He's getting ready to head down the runway, build speed, gain momentum, and get ready to shoot into the air for hopefully a long journey. Seattle to Tampa journey, that long, something cross country where he's in the air a long time, and he's a great player for a long time. Sorry about all those puns, but it's fun. It's just fun. You're at the beginning of a journey, and you hope that it lasts a long time. You hope the best for all these guys. Don't root against anybody. You want to see people who are great, and if he pitches for your team and is great, even better. But to become a great one isn't easy. And we've seen Paul Skeens look like a great one this year. So maybe that's what happens with Rocker. Maybe this is the start of a Paul Skeens like journey. It's going to be short, but again, I think it gets him ready for 2025.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat asked an interesting question too, kind of like a floor and a ceiling of not only today's start, but just this season. Like it will be such a small sample size, but I do think it is important. So what are your guys' expectations for Rocker this season?
I think he's going to be really good. I do. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets knocked around a little bit. These major league hitters are good, man, and even the Mariners. But I think he's going to be just fine. I think he'll transition better than Jack Leiter because he seems to have better command. I think Jack was undone by an inability to throw quality strikes and get guys out quickly. I think Kumar has the power stuff and has commanded. And we showed the graphic yesterday, 47 strikeouts and 3 walks. And that's pretty salty right there. That shows something. Jack has never had that kind of control. He's gained on it. He's gotten better with it. He had a great minor league season, really, when you look at it. So, I think you don't want to say, oh, he's going to go out and throw a no-hitter, but you also don't want to say, oh, they're not going to touch him. So I think it's somewhere in between, but I think it'll be better than what Jack Leiter did in his first 3 starts.
Yeah, and so I would say to directly, respond to the floor and the ceiling, I'd say, because I'm an optimist, that the ceiling is that the numbers would be as good for him at
the
this
minor league level
as they basically have been throughout the minor leagues. Again, they went up a tick from AA to AAA, as they should, right? The ERA went up a tick, right? I mean, and it'll go up a tick here too. These are the best hitters in the world, the best on the planet.
Yeah.
But that's the ceiling. The floor, I think, and someone asked, if he would maybe get caught up in the emotion of it tonight. And yes, he could.
His
It's
parents
the
will be there,
major
too.
leagues. His parents are going to be there. This is a huge deal. And so to me, the floor would be that he really struggles early tonight and can't go very far tonight. And then everybody's going to be at first like, wah, wah, disappointed and all that, right? There's no reason to be, because he'll get another opportunity just a couple of days from now, and he's going to be fine. He's got the stuff. But to me, that would be the floor, would be a really slow start today, just based on everything that's happening to him as a human being. So, but we do always appreciate the chatters. We want you to keep chatting and let us know, because our next topic is, so you're saying there's a chance. We've talked about it a couple of times. Let us know if you think there is a chance for the Rangers to make the playoffs. Yeah, to make the playoffs. We also wonder if they'll get to 81 wins. Jeff threw that out our first day on the stream. So let us know what you think. In the meantime, we want you to avail yourself to our merchandise, because it is spectacular. Merch! Here it is. It's store.allcitynetwork.com, and we have so many great options for you. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, I talked about that new Victory Green Stars shirt that we've got out there. That's a beautiful thing. The Rangers shirt we've talked about, which with the Big League Chew, that's all of our favorites, but it's Texas Chew instead of Big League Chew. It's a bubble gum, right? We love that one. The one I've got is I've got on order, I should say, is the one that has the skyline of this city and then this company's name, DLLS, underneath on this little arch. It's beautiful. It's gray. I like the simple gray T-shirt. Here's what I also like. Super high quality T-shirts. That's what these are. So you need to go to our website, store.allcitynetwork.com, and get yourself some merch or merchandise, if you will. Because,
and gift cards.
Yeah, there's gift cards. We don't have hats yet, but we're working on hats, and this merch is going to go crazy. And as chilly as it was today and as chilly as it is in here today, you could use a sweatshirt, right? A hoodie.
I actually looked at Chicago's page. They have some fun merch. So I think the more that you guys buy, the more that they would order.
The cooler it gets.
Chicago had like this deep dish pizza one.
Nice.
I kind of want to get that. I love Chicago. It's my favorite city.
There's going to be a barbecue one very soon here then, right?
Would you believe it? Like, I love ketchup, but I don't like barbecue. Isn't that weird?
Oh, my God.
I know.
We may not be able to go on.
I know. And I'm from Alabama. But here nor there. Get the merch. Buy more, because more cool stuff's going to come.
Yeah.
Then we want you to be a diehard, because that is the gift that keeps giving. You can be a diehard and basically become our best friends. We will become your best friends, no doubt about that. Become a diehard, and you're going to get exclusive content. My favorite thing is the trips that I am hearing so much about, and I cannot wait to take one. I don't get out much, Rads.
Okay.
So
I promise.
I need one of these work trips so that I can go to spring training.
Yeah.
That just sounds fun to me. Jeff has really hyped me up on the spring training trip. You guys could join us, ask all these guys the questions. I mean, we've said Jeff is like the Rangers encyclopedia. This guy's got stories and memories for days. I just throw out some numbers every now and again. But you guys can hang out with us, talk baseball, talk all things Dallas. We're going to be doing Cowboys trips and Mavericks and Rangers. You know, it's going to be fun. So become a diehard, get exclusive content. You get 20% off on those events, I think.
Yep.
And when you become a diehard, you get a free shirt every single year. So that really, if you do the math, it's not that pricey. You're already paying for like Netflix and Hulu and all the things. So go ahead, become a diehard today.
Yep. We appreciate it. You are our favored fans is what you become. And we appreciate that, although we appreciate each and every one of you, and we appreciate you chatting along. So, you look at this thing right now, it's a little bit surprising that Jeff, right now, the Rangers are actually closer to first place in the division than they are to that third wild card spot. They're 7.5 behind the Astros, 8 out of that third wild card spot. Both are daunting, obviously. They'd pretty much have to win out probably to achieve either. That said, they're in sight. Both are in sight. It's not.
It ain't over till it's
not
over.
impossible.
Yeah, until your magic, until you're eliminated, your elimination number hits 0. I guess there's a chance. I think the other day the Rangers were closer to the wild card than the division lead. The Astros have not played well here lately. The Mariners are playing a little bit better. The key for the Rangers, before you can get to first place, you need to be able to see it. So they need to get past the Mariners. I think that's the key thing, and that's the opportunity they have. They have the 4 games this week, 3 next week. So seven games, and a chance to really close ground or get past the Mariners. So I think that they need to tackle that one first. This pitching's got a chance to help them stay in games. Something that the pitching staff has done most of the year. By the offense sometimes. There won't be a lot of runs this week. The Mariners are really good at pitching the baseball, starters and bullpen. So a lot of low-scoring games, you would think, close victories. But that's first. Get past the second place team, and then see what happens. But yeah, we're running out of ball games here. I think we're down to 16. So yeah, it's a tall task, but it's not. You look at baseball history, things like this have happened. So you're saying there's a chance.
So Jeff is very realistic.
Yeah.
And we love that. I am slightly delusional. So I will give like a more optimistic spin. Number 1, the Astros look to avoid losing 4 straight for the first time since early May. So they have had a little bit of a skid right now. They're playing the Oakland A's as we are talking. Haven't checked the score yet, but the Rangers have 10 games against AL West division opponents out of their next 16. 7 total against Seattle, 3 against Oakland, 3 against the Angels. The Mariners actually have 13 games against AL West division opponents. So they're kind of, the bulk of the rest of their season is going to be division play. The A's have the least amount with 9. But, I think when you look at the bulk of the schedule, just these next few games are going to be so important. The Rangers are going to be playing the Mariners 7 times, like we said. We all remember what happened last season when Seattle broke our hearts, the chance of winning the division. So, just ran a little bit of the numbers, did some math. Rangers, Astros, and the Angels, 10 of the 16 games left are going to be against AL West division opponents. A's the least with 9, and then Mariners the most with 13.
So right now the Astros lead the A's in the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-1 game though, so obviously kind of still anyone's game. The Rangers
they hit that home run early too.
Yeah, the Rangers need to go 11-5, Jeff, to get to 81 wins, right? I mean, that's one of the goals we talked about. And then to take it one step further, really all they need to do is win every series they have left. They have 5 series left. If they win every series, which means they'll only have 1 loss in each, right? The hardest one will be this one this weekend because it's a 4-gamer, so they'd have to take 3. But if they win every series they have left, they get to 81 wins. If they do better than win the series, if they sweep one and win the rest, they're over 500 for the season. It's the same goal they start the season with, is to win every series. So the goal really hasn't changed even as they try this.
Yeah, a sweep or 2 would be nice. It's not going to happen this weekend. It's just not. But I hope I'm wrong. But I think that this is going to be a tough series. But the Rangers need to play better on the road. That's the key. That's the thing that has dragged them down all
Yeah.
year. And they're well below 500 on the road. They need to pick that up if they're going to have any chance at 500 second place, and be able to get to the 1% chance, of catching the Astros. So they need help. The Astros are helping right now. The losing to the A's is not in their
Not a good look.
best interests. So it's still there. None of these teams are great. I think that Astros, they'll win if they win the division, they'll get to play at home. Whoever wins the division gets to play at home in the wild card round. So maybe that advantage will help get them to the second round. But I just can't see these teams advancing. I think they're flawed. But you said the same thing about the Rangers last year when they went limping into Tampa Bay after losing the division on the last day, having to fly 5.5 hours to Tampa. And Tampa, of course, had, I think, 98 wins last season. Everybody was like, this is going to be easy for Tampa. And it started the Rangers' amazing run to the World Series, including 11 straight road victories. So it's there. It's not impossible, but they need help in addition to helping themselves.
Yeah. And an important thing for fans to remember is you really can't chalk up anything in baseball. Just because the Mariners have the lowest batting average and they aren't hitting and their offense isn't great doesn't mean you're going to win every single game. I mean, these are professional baseball players. So, just take that out of the question. If you're playing the Chicago White Sox, I mean, you can't chalk it up as a loss every single time. So just important to remember in the last 16 games, all is fair in love and war.
Yeah, the other thing to remember about the last 16, though, as Jeff was talking about this road record, 6 of those 16 are all that they have at home, right? So obviously the math is pretty easy. 10 of them on the road. That's where it has to change, down the stretch here. And again, Seattle's been really up and down. Now they're a little bit up right now. What did you tell me? They're
5 of the last 7.
5-2 in their last 7. Yeah.
But
so
maybe the Rangers will bring their World Series rings with them on the road. Get a little motivation,
Yeah, I doubt it. The rings are going to be in their safe. But,
that is very, very true.
That said, they're going to be motivated. You know what else they're going to be, Jeff, is they're going to be energized, because this kind of thing, we've seen it. You've talked about it, Abby, when DeGrom was just throwing like a live BP or some such, the entire team gathered around the batting cage just to watch him. Mm-hmm. Like when you get this type of talent back on the field and back into the rotation, it's energizing for everybody, Jeff.
Yeah, look, they respect the heck out of these guys for what they've done in their careers and what they're capable of doing. And you know what? It is going to be fun. They're going to enjoy seeing their brothers back on the mound, and not just guys who are the last guy in the bullpen or the last guy on the bench. These are stalwarts out there, and guys who will give them a chance to win a ball game. As long as they keep it close, it'll take some pressure off the offense, things like that. So these guys are fans of baseball too, and it's been said over and over again. Players see their teammates more than they see their families for 6 or 8 months out of the year. So they're rooting for each other, pulling hard, and they want to see how good Jacob deGrom can be for the next year.
I think Jacob deGrom wants to see how good Jacob deGrom is.
All right.
Sure.
No doubt. Abs, do you have your phone out here?
I do.
Okay. Just show Jeff how the selfie thing works and all, because Jeff.
Oh, we've got him right up. I'm sending it to you. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Is he good? Because Jeff, there you go, Jeff. He's got some added responsibilities out there this weekend.
But before we close, Kumar's dad had a special message that he wanted to deliver to his son before his MLB debut. We said that he's the D-line coach for the Tennessee Titans. So Papa had a little surprise waiting for Kumar Rocker today. We want to show you that video.
I want to say congratulations to you. Good luck to you tonight. Welcome back. I know you had a tough time coming back from injury, but you worked your tail off. You're back. Congrats to you and your family.
Congratulations, Kumar. Excited to see you play tomorrow.
Congrats, man. It's big.
Big congratulations, man. Huge accomplishment. We look out for you.
Congrats, man. Good luck. Nothing but K's.
That's
Isn't that
fantastic.
cute? Yeah.
That's awesome.
And,
All the Tennessee
kudos
Titans.
Kudos to the Titans for flying Tracy to Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a
So
that's a big thing.
That's pretty awesome.
We'll
hey,
get all the
it's a
footage of it,
simple
Jeff.
event. It's a
Yeah,
bit-
talk to his dad, will you?
I'm not going into the stands.
Tell him we're
all right?
Eagle.
Yeah, talk to his dad.
We're just gonna give him a list of chores.
Great to have you there, Jeff. Wish we could be with you to see this debut. It's exciting. It's a great day in Rangers history. We'll be chatting, of course, with you, through our media, social medias and so forth tonight, and we'll be back with you again tomorrow. So we're anxious to hear about the spectacle that is this Major League debut. So that's going to do it for
Ready to
us. Jeff's in
rock.
Seattle. Abs and I are here. It's fun.
You ready to rock?
Yeah, we're ready to rock. You ready to rock?
Let's do.
Play hard, have fun. This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's I love you. Okay.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, that's I love you.
We all silly like the mayor.